Hi everyone, this is Selvi. Today's topic is best collaboration practices between Scrum Master and Product Owner in Sprint Planning Event. We started already with the best collaboration practices between Scrum Master and Product Owner during the backlog refinement event in one of our episode. In this episode, we are going to talk about Sprint Planning Event. So the first topic where Scrum Master and Product Owner should have a good collaboration, especially that will help the sprint planning event is Scrum Master should prepare and share the capacity details of the team to the Product Owner. This will give the Product Owner a fair understanding about what is the available bandwidth with the team and how much we can expect in this particular sprint. This will help product owner to come up with some kind of idea about the sprint goal so that during the sprint planning meeting, product owner can very well coordinate with team to prepare the sprint goal. In addition to capacity, Scrum Master also should share the details about the velocity. That will also give us an understanding about how much we can really plan for the sprint. So these two things, capacity and average velocity of the team, should be shared by the Scrum Master so that product owner can get an understanding about what is the expected thing from the sprint that we can plan, as well what is the sprint goal, because always as a team we commit on the sprint goal, and to achieve the sprint goal, what are the work items that we can implement, those items we will pick up in the sprint backlog. So this capacity and average velocity will give a very fair understanding to the product owner to plan the sprint goal and the relevant sprint backlog items. This also saves lot of time during the sprint planning because we have already a good level of understanding. Second point, Scrum Master should check with product owner about the work items that he or she is planning for the upcoming sprint. I am talking about sprint planning event, but please do not think that it will happen on the day of sprint planning event. Few days before the sprint planning event itself, the preparation for the upcoming sprint planning should be taken care by both product owner and Scrum Master, so that we will not be spending too much time on the sprint planning. At the same time, we will not see any kind of hiccups in the sprint planning event. So, as we were talking about the second point, Scrum Master should get the details of work items that product owner is looking for the upcoming sprint. What is the reason for getting this list is Scrum Master should check whether all these items are meeting the definition of ready checklist or not. This will also save good amount of time because we no need to check on each and everything. Just we can ask the team, any questions on this user story? Are we clear? As I am able to see that definition of ready value is already 5. I don't see any kind of open questions, but still there are any open questions or not. It will be a very smooth discussion. Otherwise, we will be keep checking each and every story. We will go through acceptance criteria. We will check on attachments, whether wireframes are there or not. We will check on whether testing requirements are available or not. We will check on whether non-functional requirements are available or not. If we are keep on checking that, it will extend our time. So this will help us in managing the time and optimizing the time very well. So just to go through the points, and not only saving time, if Scrum Master is finding somewhere there is a gap, please push that item to the product owner so that product owner has some few days time just to fix that before coming for the sprint planning event. So in that way, we will not be actually blocked because there is an open item or there is a gap in the work item during the sprint planning event. Third particular item, by chance some of the dependencies or risk are not managed well, maybe dependencies are resolved. Let's talk about risk. There is a risk that we have identified, but there is no mitigation plan. Now Scrum Master has the opportunity to connect with the action owners to understand where we are standing with that action item, action plan for that risk, and get that closed as well. Have the mitigation plan ready before the sprint planning starts. If there are any kind of technical details missing, or if any kind of technical information still needs to be updated, facilitate a meeting with product owner, technical lead, and technical architect, so that the technical discussions and the gaps in the technical details can be filled very well before the sprint planning event. And next topic is related to, so we talked about, let me quickly summarize on what we talked about. The first point. The first point is all about sharing the capacity and velocity details from Scrum Master side to the product owner to prepare well from product owner side on the work items and plan for the sprint goal. So this will give the product owner some time to prepare all these things before coming for the sprint planning event. Second one is Scrum Master can check on the whether DOR checklist is met for all the work items that product owner is planning. Third thing is, if there are any technical discussions which are open and still some gaps are available, please facilitate a meeting with product owner and technical team, that is the lead as well the architect, and close those gaps before the sprint planning event. And if there are any risks that are not yet closed with the mitigation plan availability, please track that, follow with the action owner to come up with the resolution or maybe the mitigation plan for the risk. Next topic is all about 15-10-5 rule. Already we discussed about this. We all know what is 15-10-5. In every sprint backlog, we should always not only go with all the functional requirements, we should also think about how well we can improvise on refactoring, how well we can strengthen our code, how well we can fix our open defects, and how well we can spend our time on new exploration topics. Sometimes what happens, product owner may only concentrate on the functional requirements, business requirements. So now it is a very important point, or Scrum Master should play a very important role here by stressing that point, by giving that heads up to both technical lead as well the architect and the product owner. In this sprint, looks like we are only going with business requirements. Why can't we pick up some defects? Because we are able to see good number of defects in the backlog. So why can't we actually clean up those as well? So can we pick up some defects? So generally what it says, 5% of team capacity we can invest for fixing the defects. 15% of team capacity we can invest on working on technical debts or any refactoring work items. 5% of the effort, team's capacity, we can spend on some new exploration topics. So now, when we say that we know that what is the team capacity, it is not like this is the rule that we need to follow. It is a guidance, because every time, as I mentioned, we may only focus on the business requirements. We only talk about functional things. We may miss mostly. There are good number of defects that is available in the product backlog. If we are not working on that, there are chances it will grow and we will not be able to close it. Similarly, if we are not working on any exploration topic, no spike work items, then there are chances for the upcoming sprint, wherever we need some clarity, we may not have that because we have not done the exploration. And exploration is also one more important topic because it brings us new opportunities. So that is also one thing team may be looking for. So it is good that if we spend some time on that, that's why we are allotting 5% of team's capacity on that. So if we are not doing that, then team may feel little demotivated because there is no new exploration topics that are coming up, because they may have some ideas and they need some time. This is one place where we can invest some time on those ideas to get into some kind of new opportunities. And refactoring is always there. For example, there may be some module which is very much having defects, like it is always a place where you can see good number of defects, but we want to refactor, but always we are looking for business, working on business requirements, then we can devote some time for those kind of refactoring activities. So these all things we need to plan. That's the reason we plan 15 percentage 5 10 percentage 5 percentage of our team's capacity with respect to refactoring, bug fixing, and the exploration topics. So this we need to highlight with both technical lead and architect and product owner, so that they can also think about these things. Again, I'm saying, if we have so many priority items, some sprints we may not be able to focus on these work items. That is fine, but we should not always avoid this saying that we have always priority work items. Of course, we will be having priority work items. If one fine day, if you are not giving this opportunity in every sprint, sometimes what happen, during our release, we will be looking at our product backlog where we have so many number of defects which needs to be fixed before the release. So we may be in a situation to plan one entire sprint for bug fixing, which is not at all a good idea. So these things should go in parallel with the actual business requirement implementation. That's the whole idea. But in some sprints, as again I'm mentioning, there may be some kind of challenges in devoting time for this. That is okay, but it can be for 1 or 2 sprints, not every time. So Scrum Master should remind this and get this clarification from both product owner and technical architect or lead, to get the clarity about what are the work items that are going to come in the sprint backlog in this topic. Definitely, during backlog refinement also, we will be focusing on all the flavors of work items, not only on business requirements. We will talk about spike, we will talk about technical depths, everything. Similarly, we have refined work items in our backlog, which are spike, which are technical depths. But this sprint, what are the work items that will come here, that we need to finalize. So that also Scrum Master should confirm with technical lead or architect and product owner. Next thing, we talked about how we are coming on with the planning. Now next thing is, if in case some work item get into some blocker and we are unable to proceed, what is the next item that product owner is keeping in mind, so that team can immediately pick it up? Whether product owner has any kind of idea on that, that we need to remind product owner. Like, you have a plan that these many items may go into the sprint, but if in case midway of the sprint we are blocked with something, what is our next work item that team can pick it up without any kind of obstacles, which means already it is refined, ready to be for execution? What is that work item? Because we should always have a backup plan. All right, so this also we need to plan it. This also we need to remind product owner and get the details. Next thing is, we need to check with product owner. Always we will be calling all the stakeholders during our sprint demo, where we will be showing the working product. But in this sprint, for example, there is one work item which we want to get quick feedback, but you want to understand whether the stakeholders are available during the sprint review timing or not. Like, which is a practical scenario. Let's consider product manager is not available during the sprint review timing because he or she will be on vacation. But we want to show this particular thing and get a kind of like understanding whether our upcoming sprint backlog is going to be dependent on this particular work item. So we want to show this working model, so that whether we can pick it up in the upcoming sprint, the rest of the work items which is dependent on this, or not, we will get the clarity. We want to get that kind of understanding from product manager. So always check with your product owner as a scrum master whether all the stakeholders are available during the sprint review meeting or not, and what is the criticality they are missing. The one option is, if some people are not attending, you can record and give the recording to them, the sessions recording. They can go through and they can share the feedback. But for certain work items, because sprint review, we will be discussing about sprint review in our upcoming episodes. In sprint review, it is not only about showing the working product, it is also about reviewing the upcoming work items in the upcoming sprints. So for example, I am showing today one work item which gives the base for the upcoming stories. But if this particular base work item only is not getting reviewed and we are not getting proper feedback, with which, what guarantee I can pick up the rest of the work items in the upcoming sprint? That is a question. So here is a dependency. Here we see a criticality of stakeholders attending the review meeting, but product manager is going on for vacation. So now collaborate with your product owner, fix some time when product manager can spend some time, so that we can plan and show this working product before he or she goes for vacation. This is product owner's responsibility to block some time. What is scrum master responsibility? To ensure the team is working on this particular work item on priority basis, which means in first week, first few days only we should cover this, because only first week product manager is available. Let's consider like that. Second week product manager is not available, so obviously second week, end of the day, on end of the week, we are having our sprint review meeting. For that meeting also product manager is not going to be available, so we have only first week to get it reviewed and get the feedback quickly, so that we are confident, okay, for upcoming sprints we can plan the relevant stories related to this. So now talk to your product owner and plan the timing, fix the timing for the intermediate review for this only one work item. Similarly, explain to the team during the sprint planning meeting, and as a scrum master in daily scrum call, ensure that this work item is given priority and not others, because we need to close it by, the person who is going to work may have two user stories. One is this particular user story and another one is maybe, out of these two, that is less priority now. But now we need to focus whether the development team is giving focus to this high priority item, so that first week we will be able to show the demo and get the quick review. So for this also, scrum master should connect with product owner. This also should be explained in the planning meeting. And next one is, scrum master should give a heads up to the product owner in this sprint how many backlog refinement meetings that we are planning, and what is the average velocity and the product backlog health, so that product owner can very well prepare in the upcoming sprint these many hours we are going to invest for the backlog refinement. And if there are anything that needs to be discussed with the product management team, product owner gets some time to get that discussion done before the backlog refinement meetings getting planned. So that also scrum master should give the heads up. So these all are the overall points that as scrum master and product owner should get into these kind of discussions, so that we will have a smooth sprint planning meeting. The advantage of having this collaboration best practices are, we will save good amount of time, and we will be very much clear about what is the goal, what is the target of the sprint, and we are very much aware of what are the topics that need to be executed early and what is the priority that we need to give for those items. And there is always an opportunity for us to have a mixed backlog with all the flavors like technical depths, defects, and exploratory scenarios. So, this collaboration is very important, and these all things should be happening parallelly just one sprint prior the actual sprint planning event, so that whatever the actions that are coming, both scrum master and product owner has some time to fix that. So it is not on just a day before the sprint planning, we should not just sit for a meeting. It should not be like that. It should be just few days before the sprint planning event, and they should know that okay, right now these are the actions and I need to take this as priority and start working on this before the sprint planning meeting, so that team will not face any kind of trouble. I think this episode would have helped many of you in understanding the best collaboration practices between scrum master and product owner in the sprint planning event. Thank you everyone for listening. Happy learning and stay tuned.